konnichiwa, Mina Shizuku, and you're watching Pocketcast. Today's movie review is going to be on Bébé's Kids. This is a unique one due to the fact of how I was introduced to this movie. So this will be a fun review to talk about and explain why I wasn't really looking forward to this one while going in due to that reason. But real quick, Bébé's Kids was released on July 31st, 1992. I remember seeing the commercials and I was always like, okay, that looks fun. That looks like it's going to be a good comedy. Now, I never had watched it. You know, I had a lot of other movies that I went for, and around that time, I think is when I started really getting into anime, and so if I had the opportunity to pick up an anime over picking up other movies that I wasn't too sure about, I went for the anime first. And a lot of live action comedies too. I don't know why, but during that time it was anime, live action comedies. That's mainly what I went for. Also, it wasn't from Disney, so I was definitely more on the, like, well, it's not a Disney one, but I should probably try it. Okay, so enough talking about that. So, my real first experience with this movie was the video game that came out for the Super Nintendo. It's a side-scrolling beat-em-up, just like Streets of Rage, Final Fight, all that. However, the game is so bad, oh my gosh, that it left a bad taste in my mouth. And so Voodoo had it on sale for $5, and I'm just like, screw it. I want this movie. I'm going to see this movie. I'm finally going to see exactly what this movie's all about. You know? So I did. Okay, so here's where I say my little thing. Spoiler alert. I do like to give away kind of what the movie's about. If I talk about the ending, I talk about the ending. You know, that's what I kind of do. Okay, so basically what the movie's all about is you have Robin, and he's at a funeral. He's happy that this dude's dead, you know, and then he sees the secretary, Jamaica. Instantly love at first sight. He's like, oh, she's a doll, you know, has to go and talk to her. Talks with her, finally convinces her to, you know, hey, can I at least get a ride home? And she goes picks up her kid, and Robin and Leon get along perfectly. And he's like, is there anything I can't do? And she goes, okay, how about Fun World? Take us to Fun World. That will show me kind of, you know, what you're like. And he's just like, oh yeah. You know, so he's more than happy. He goes to pick her up. Then there's 3 more kids. He's like, whoa, you said you had one. Okay, one kid. And she's like, oh, I do. These are Bébé's kids. And that is, you got, I'm going to see if I can say this right. Koal? I'm so sorry. LaShawn and Pee-wee. And Khalil. I can't say his name. No, I do apologize. I'm really bad at names. But those are Bébé's kids. One is a complete punk, you know, and you do not trifle with this kid. You have Pee-wee, who basically is a toddler. He poops, and he's evil. Best way to describe him. LaShawn is a no-nonsense girl. Do not mess with her, or she will beat the living tar out of you. Basically how all 3 of them act. And he's just going like, what? It's like, just, if we can, please. And she's like, okay. So they finally get over there. The kids have not been nice. And there's a funny thing because during the movie, you'll get this running gag in the movie, which is when people realize who these kids are, they'll be like, oh, Bébé's kids, and everybody runs away screaming, bloody murder, all that, you know, like, oh, you know, type thing. I think it's a funny joke. And so they finally get to the park. poor lad. He's having to pay, up the wazoo to get all the kids in. And then out of nowhere, the kids run over to a gift shop. It has like a lot of Native American and tribal stuff in there. And these kids go ballistic. We're talking, they're grabbing tomahawks, they're grabbing spears, and they're just running amok over there, and it's nuts. And they've already been pre-warned by the security guards, which are very creepy in this movie. Seriously creepy. So they start, like, sorry, I just remember things from the movie. So anyway, eventually, what happens is Jamaica and Robin finally get to go on their own to the Tunnel of Love, because why not? And the kids are left to go and explore the park by themselves, which was a very, very bad idea. Leon Nichols, he's a nice kid. He listened to his mom. The other three, yeah. So it just goes on to where they're just wreaking havoc. They finally get caught by the security guards and literally are strapped into a ride with a bunch of other kids that they had kidnapped. Don't make this up. And the kids are now being forced to go through a ride that basically explains what the park's all about. Money, basically. And then they're just like, no, we're not going to do that. And they then start a revolution. I kid you not. A revolution where the kids escape, and now they are running amok in the ride, believe it or not, and the security guards start coming after them. So they keep on going deeper and deeper. They finally get away, but there's a catch. The animatronics of that ride are sentient. Because why not? And because of Kawal, I can't say his name. I should have looked up his name first. I do apologize. I'm not trying to be rude or anything. It's just I'm really bad at saying names. Anybody who's watched my videos know this. Anyway, he's put on trial by the animatronics and is defended by Abraham Lincoln animatronic. And they are literally deciding if they're going to kill the kid or let him go free. After a surprisingly fun musical number, he gets to live. They don't kill him. But then it starts getting even weirder. Join up with all the kids again, take over a pirate ship. They go and attack they literally are attacking the Titanic with the pirate ship. I'm not making this up. It's all over the place. And after everything's said and done, they eventually leave the park. And as they're driving away, it's like, kind of looks back, and the whole park literally is destroyed. It is no more. And they're going to go home. And of course, this is where one of the gags show up. You see this cop come down, and Robin's like, "Help me! Save me!" Cop's like, "What's the problem? These kids, man. These kids. You gotta do something, cop." Cop then pulls back on his motorcycle, looking at the kids and like, "Oh yeah, and who are you?" And kids are all, "We're Bébé's kids." The cop totally freaks out, does a U-turn, and just bat out of hell. Goes away. I was laughing so much on that one. It's like, how bad are these kids that even the cops are afraid of them? Oh my gosh. So, he's ticked. Robin's ticked, and he's just looking at Jamaica. It's like, no, we're taking them home. We're done. They're done. They're going home. I'm done with this. They are out of control. Get home, find out that, well, their mom's not home. He's like, no, you're going in. here's some money for a pizza. Call a pizza. And then like the pizza guy doesn't come out here anymore, and he leaves them. It's all sad and everything. And then, of course, they make it into his heart. He rushes over to make sure the kids are okay, and now they're all friends. Kind of. Kind of. He gave in. But a lot more happens throughout the movie, but that's basically the gist of the movie. So, the thing that's unique about this movie, I think, is the art style. The art style is different than what you would normally see a lot in the movies back then, and I like it. I think they did a great job of animating it. I mean, they even start out with Robin Harris live action, then he turns into a cartoon character. I thought that was really, really nice touch to it, and he was doing some stand-up at the beginning. I thought it worked out perfectly. How they were able to get the facial expressions to work, how they're able to get the animation alone was really good in my opinion. You had some really nice musical numbers going on, some nice music in the background. You have a couple other things going on, to, because why not? But everything strangely works together to where it just kind of comes together at the end of the movie nicely to where you're just like, oh, that was a nice adventure. This movie, of course, also, I wouldn't call this one a family movie, like on normal standards. It's kind of like when you watch Anastasia or any of those movies like that are willing to push the envelope, cross the line, whenever they can. And so it's one of those that follow that type of style to where it is a family movie, but there will be things that happen that were probably not appropriate for all the kids. I mean, I grew up watching a lot of those cartoons back in the 80s and stuff that you're just like, oh, Optimus Prime dies, Mom, oh, this is so sad, and of course me being a youngster at the movie theater seeing this, it's like type thing. So it's definitely one of those that it's a great movie, but it will have some things in there which probably are slightly inappropriate for the younger ones, but it totally works. So I just wanted to at least get that out, that it does have that type of thing that was going on back then before everybody's like, censor everything. All in all, the movie was really good. I was so surprised. I was laughing throughout the movie, and I'm actually genuinely excited to have this part of my digital movie collection. And I will definitely watch it again as a fun movie to go back and enjoy laughing. And I still feel bad that my first impressions of the movie came from the video game. Or I should say, was the trailer. The trailer looked really good, but I just never... I don't know, it's either seriously what I was going for anime back then, comedy movies, and some other things, or I just never saw it, even though I wanted to rent it. Because back in that day, you didn't have all this streaming service, this glorious streaming service, and then if there's a movie you wanted to watch, you had to plan ahead if they announced it to come out. So it was harder to get a hold of movies. That's why when it came the opportunity to get anime, it was either rent anime or rent video games or comedy movies. So, do you blame me? It kind of happens. And I'm sad that it took me this long to watch it. Though now I probably would appreciate it a lot more due to the fact that this is the type of comedies I actually like going for in the animation department because it's so much fun. So in all, I'd say it's a movie worth checking out. I really think people will find this one to be a good movie, in my personal opinion. It's, I think it received a 5.3 or 5.8 due to the fact that because of it being, being a black comedy, honestly, people will probably be like, oh, it's a cartoon, picked it up, and were surprised of how the movie went. They weren't expecting it to be, absolutely hilarious, but, some dark humor in there and all that. And they were thinking probably it was going to be, oh, Disney's safe. It's hard to explain. But in my personal opinion, I gave it an 8 because I thought it was absolutely hilarious and worth the time watching. So recommend, pick this one up. You guys will definitely enjoy it. I think it's a good movie. So, absolutely enjoyed this, and I hope you guys enjoy it too. It's definitely one checking out because it's absolutely hilarious. Don't play the video game. The video game sucks. It's unbeatable. Oh my gosh, it's broken beyond belief. But the movie's fantastic. Well, thank you guys for watching. I hope you guys have enjoyed, and I really hope you guys check out the movie. This is one that is, I almost want to call it a hidden gem because of how it didn't get as much popularity I think it should have. Or, it's one of those movies that just fell under the radar, kind of. So, give it a watch. Thank you guys for watching. This is T Secure saying ciao and sayonara.